Hey, I'm back. Oh, I was running in for my glasses. I'll have to get them when I throw on a little video. I don't have any super long ones like yesterday. I wanted to share that one because it was really good information. I know it's a little choppy and it's hard to watch a video from another channel on someone's channel, but I really love those girls. Scad Warrior, Shepherd of the Forest, and Mandy. And Scad Warrior, they all have good information. They're all Liberty Warrior correspondents. They all call in with information, and they all have their own show on YouTube. So I'm going to get this new Restream link. I do have a bunch of things I want to share, but so I don't want to have call-ins just yet. And we are also taking off for, my daughter and I've been trying to tell my husband this with permission, but there's a dog that we want to go get, and we are going to go get in Reading. It's a German Shepherd puppy, and we're really excited about it. So we'll be passing through. Maybe I'll get to see cousin Robbie. But we're really excited. And my mother's coming home tomorrow. And the other thing is she's been in Chicago for the last week, but she's been in Florida for a while too. But the other thing that I have a lot of really good tips for Humboldt County today. I'm going to share them at the end, but something I want to tell right away that happened this morning that was a little bit of a derailment for me too, but it was great. There's Redwood Community Action Agency brought my mom a battery for her house because she's a senior and she's her PG&E, it's connected with that. It's a program, so it's something worth looking into if you have a senior and or medications and you need a battery. I know my friend Marquita could probably use that too. So anyway, that's one of the tips, but I want to share a couple things with you from, let's see, so many different things. I'm just going to throw on the first video that I want to share, which is, my husband had to help me clean up my computer, you guys. It was such a mess. What was that one I want to share? I'm in here and I got to get my screen to share. And I got to look at chat. There's all these things. This week has been a lot of learning curves, a lot of trial and errors, and there was a lot of things that didn't go well with my streaming and with my seeing video. I didn't realize when I watched the playbacks, I had lost Robert. Hannah's sound was bad. There's so many things. So I'm learning, and hopefully I'll get better. I'm sure I will. And now I have another person that's here to work on my husband's our Bobcat machine. So anyway, he knows where to go and he's getting right to it. So that's good. For Humboldt County, I've had a lot of different things I want to share. Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to share. Is it in here? I guess it's on my YouTube is what it is. It's the man that I'm working with, his organization with Safeway. He's the common law. His last name is Singleton, which for Humboldt County is a little bit tainted because that was the name of the man, the lawyer that went through and went after a lot of the businesses that didn't have bathrooms. But it's not the same person. His name is just the same. So I'm surprised that YouTube's kept it up. They struck me down on a video yesterday that I'd had up for a while, but I have a friend I heard from, and she posted on Facebook that she got taken down, something from a post. She got, Facebook spanked her around for something that was a year ago post. So Stupid, stupid, stupid. Good morning. It's still morning. Good afternoon, Robert. I watched both of the videos you sent me, and I was really impressed. I really liked that information. Seems really cool. And I want to share that stuff. So let me share my screen so I can share this video of this common law, John Singleton. I saw him first from Peggy Hall. She interviewed him. He was one of her first interviews from what I remember that she had. Let's see, is that better? I'm experimenting. You're experimenting with me. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, right on. Let's see. You have a friend, old friend coming in, right on. Great, raising her grandkids in school. That's the thing to do, isn't it? You got to get these kids out of public school. Even the private Christian schools here. I was going to mention this. I have a friend who has many children that went to a private Christian school here. And there was a 14-year-old man who came to my house one day, and he saw a lot of paperwork on my table for civil rights and for all the things, the laws. There's 22 laws why you're not allowed to do this to kids or adults or anybody. And I had them all printed out on the table, and he wanted some. So he was going to go to his principal at the school and talk to them and exert his civil rights as a 14-year-old young man. And he did. And he still was told that he still had to wear the thing, because he said, I'm going to bring this to them, and I'm going to stand up for me and my siblings. And I thought, what a badass, and 14 years old, and young man's going to be going into high school soon. I'm sure you can feel me when you can imagine my disappointment when they didn't honor that. And you can also feel what he must have felt like as a 14-year-old to have exerted his civil rights at his school and for them to shoot him down. I don't have any kids in school here right now, so that's why you're not seeing me on the news because I don't have any rights to really go into those schools to fight for any children. They would just kick me out. I have gone on the campuses at the places where they set up the vacation clinics for the 12-year-olds. I'm on the public grounds. I'm allowed to be there, but I have no children in school. So, but I have fought alongside Elaine for her children. I've told her children, I'm fighting for you guys, for Jimmy and Adonai, and they've tried to exert their civil rights. They have exerted their civil rights. They just were not honored. Their mother has fought for them. They have spoken out for themselves, and it's ridiculous. So that's why another reason when I'm on here, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for a lot of kids and adults who can't speak for themselves. So this isn't about me for me. And I've taken a lot of heat from my friends, from my new friends, from my old friends. And it's just criticisms that are their expectations of me or what I should have said or didn't say. Hey, Mike. And it's very frustrating because the one thing I want to share and start this stream with is 3 things that I have for all those people. I love you too, man. And it's grace, mercy, and love. So I want to go to the old Merriam-Webster. Oh, let me make sure I'm sharing. I am, right? Yep, I am. Yep. Hard stuff, Mike. I just so admire all you guys have been through this stuff. And I really, really love you guys too. I love our Liberty Warrior Nation. I love my Humboldt County peeps and the Christians and the wellness healers and all the people. They've all gotten upset with me. It's just happened. So, and it's going to happen, and it's okay. I'm still going to love those people. I'm still going to have grace and mercy for them. So I just want to share what that means. Grace is unmerited. It means we don't deserve it. It's divine assistance given to humans for their regeneration or sanctification. It's a virtue from God. state of sanctifying enjoyed through divine assistance, approval, mercy, pardon, privilege, reprieve, charm, a short prayer at meal, asking a blessing or giving thanks, a musical trill, turn, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word, a sense of property or right. Grace is also a verb, to confer dignity or honor. The king graced him with the rank of a knight. Adorn, embellish. Okay, that's grace. Mercy is kind, gentle, or compassionate treatment, especially towards someone who is undeserving of it. Always show your enemies mercy because it makes you a better person. Synonyms for mercy: charity, clemency, forbearance, lenience, mercifulness. Words related to mercy: humanitarianism. That's what this is about. Humboldt unity and humanity. We're all feeling it in the Liberty Warrior Nation, the loss of humanity in our certain towns and places, and we've certainly experienced it here in Humboldt County. My favorite definitions for mercy is empathy, pity, sympathy, understanding, favor, grace, goodwill, humaneness, kindliness, meekness, niceness, softness, tenderness, generosity, nobility, affection, devotion, love, worship. So mercy is one of my favorite things. And love, I was telling Robert yesterday, I had a dog named Love. My first dog, some of my old friends remember Love Dog. When you have a dog named Love and she's lost and you're running around the neighborhood, come here, Love, come here, Love. Oh, it's something. Okay, so definition for love: strong affection for another, rising out of kinship or personal ties. Affection based on admiration, benevolence, or common interests. I'm leaving out the ones that are sexual and affection because that's not what I'm speaking about here. This love is warm attachment, enthusiasm, or devotion. It's what we need right now. And we keep talking about love, so I just wanted to lay it out here, to hold dear, to feel passion, devotion, or tenderness, cares. You get the meaning, you get the gist, you get where I'm going with it. So that's one of the things I wanted to share, because Peggy Hall is, she's on a tear lately. She's really upset, and I'm going to share a couple. I'm not going to play the whole videos for you guys, but I want you to see this one of her. She's been fighting and fighting and fighting in Orange County, and
welcome everyone.
She's absolutely furious and fed up.
This is breaking news. I'm coming to you late on a, you can see it's nighttime here, coming to you late on Wednesday, June 23rd. It's about 10:30 at night. And I just had time now to view all of the footage of the Orange County Board of Supervisors meeting that was held yesterday, June 22nd. I was unable to attend because I'm embroiled in my own lawsuit against my own city and soon to be a lawsuit against the Board of Supervisors. This is going to happen. And I know that they're listening to us because they are responding to a lot of our concerns. And I want to clear up a couple of things. I listened also to the testimony of many of you, which is awesome. And I want to explain a couple of things. And I want to explain a couple of things to this chairman of the board and also to Don Wagner. And whether you live in Orange County or California, it doesn't, those differences don't matter, because what I'm about to explain, you can apply in your situation as well. So the number one thing that has to be understood is that no health department policy, protocol, strategy, recommendation, guideline, proclamation, resolution, rule, measure, strategy, none of that matters. None of that matters, because none of that is law. These OSHA regulations are not laws, all right? A regulation can only be carried out to uphold and enforce statutory law. What is a statutory law? That is a law that is passed by your legislative body. No laws are passed to this effect of the emergency or any of this other hogwash. So the other thing I want to make clear, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what these ridiculous servants are doing. They don't even understand the law. All right, let me share my screen, because I just, I am absolutely outraged. This individual here, Andrew Doe, is the
I'm going to speed it up a little
born,
bit.
all right, he was born.
We have the same problem
Vietnam,
here in Humboldt
right?
County, and
Communist, am I
Shasta
wrong?
does too, which is why I'm playing this, you
As
guys.
the health officer, Chow, both came from communist countries. Didn't they come to this country for freedom? So this fellow that you're
But I
seeing
knew
here
she
on the
talked
screen,
fast, so I'm changing.
Supervisor Doe,
Going
Andrew
back.
Doe, he just went on record, and I'm going to make another video tomorrow, but I'm so incensed that I cannot let this go. So I made a lot of notes of what he said here right near the end. And you can see the web address if you want to watch this as well. He said that we cannot pick and choose what laws that we are going to follow, and that this board has to follow the law. And then he used the word guidance. All of these health department edicts are guidance. They are not law, and they are not enforceable by law. There is no code of law attached to it. So he is so ignorant that he doesn't even understand the difference between guidance and a law.
Our public health officer is using order, just so you know. You listen for the buzzwords. Are they using mandate, guideline, order, or guidance? They're not laws. It doesn't matter which word they use. So I just wanted to clarify that.
And he says, then they go on record to say that they are extending this local health emergency that they keep calling the state of emergency. Hello, supervisors, you are not in a state of emergency. You are in a local health emergency. California Health and Safety Code, my gosh, I've been saying this for over a year. Over a year. California Health and Safety Code 101080. Look it up. It's there. Why these yahoos can't look it up? I don't know why. I've been going in front of them week after week after week with the testimony. The testimony's over. It's going to be a lawsuit. California
It's going to be a lawsuit. I'm going to wrap it up in a sec.
Says
I'm going to let her
that
go.
the local health emergency that this board agreed to, that this board ratified, this board has the obligation by law to terminate at the earliest date that the conditions warrant.
Our board
Not when they get the money. They went on record saying that they are extending this emergency in order to get the money. That is called fraud. Fraud is a felony. A felony carries a prison sentence. Please, you guys, if you are interested, go to thehealthyamerican.org. Actually, go to
I'm going to cut her off here.
freedomforcalifornia.org or my YouTube channel. I have all of my videos of my...
She does. She's got it all. We've all loved her from the beginning. Every one of us in Stand Up Humboldt have been following her. That she is the trailblazer. She is at the helm of the ship. There's a few people she's gotten to connect with that are helping too, but I think it's so important to share where she's at and where Red, White, and Blueprint's at in Shasta, which is practically nowhere. And I don't mean it as a criticism. I'm just saying, look at all the work they've done and look at everything. Hi, Elaine, where they're at. And you know, we've got to figure out what we can do to get started, because we're a bit behind them in all the things we need to be doing. They make it really difficult for these supervisors to get recalled. And that's what I've been learning from the Red, White, and Blueprint. And we can't let it discourage us just because we're finding out it's a harder path than maybe we all thought it was. We have to learn it and get together with it. So with this stream, I wanted to share a couple things that I know Elaine would be down with too, and I am really would love to host a affidavit party where we do figure out the paperwork we need to send. There's been talk of petitions. There's been talk of flyers getting passed out at the Crabs game. There's a lot of talk, and I know we need to get together, and that's why this channel, because I live out in the sticks and I don't go to town much, and a lot of people, I've already beat this drum, we're very far out. So please tell your activist friends that want to get involved and want to come out with us and do things with us. Somebody's here. It's Mr. Mike. Hey, brother. Good morning. I hope I know you're traveling, so maybe you're just calling in. I don't hear you yet. I hear you. Hi, brother. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Morning, afternoon. I'm doing okay. Doing okay. You're breaking up a lot. I don't hear nothing because I think you're traveling to see your mama for her birthday.
Absolutely. Just
There
wanted
you
to
are.
call in.
Try again.
I just wanted to call in and say that we love you. And
Don't
Peggy
make me cry.
Hall,
Okay.
Peggy Hall is a warrior. And Peggy, if you ever watch this show, Deanna's show, and do an interview with me, I would love to get the word out for you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, we would
So
all
this,
love to hear from her.
yes, this fight that we're all in, we have to band together. We have to unite because when everyone's trying to do their own little thing, they can only get so far. So if we unite in force, then power in numbers for sure.
Amen.
And I don't care what we have to do. If we have to pack up and make a trip to Orange County or to Humboldt County, hundreds and thousands of us to have our voices heard, then that's what we need to do.
Right. Amen. That's right. Because it's coming your way. You saw that interview you did. I know that was surprising to you to walk up and see those ladies out there in the grunge administering medicine like that. You know, what really blows me away is how many people need medicine right now, real medicine, diabetes medicine, just basic medicine, right? And they're so helpful with this vacation. It's like everywhere for free and enter a lottery. I mean, you think people see it? Think they see it yet?
I think there's a lot of people that still have the scales over their eyes.
You know, Robert and I have been talking, and we had this funny, I forgot how he put it, but he said level of, the truthers. You and I, Mike, haven't learned, both of us haven't known about a lot of the things that the truthers are talking about on the show, a lot of things, right? Med beds, or, even just stuff with the Illuminati's deepest, all the things, right? All the things. And a lot of these people have been studying this stuff for a decade or more. And
Yep.
so there's these levels of intelligence, and it's not a criticism, right? But it's like, if you're at level 1, you know everything that's going on. How many people really do know what's going on right now? Very few. But then if you get someone that calls in your show like MA, and he's at a level 10, he has no idea about a lot of these things that are getting talked about, right? So
Yep.
it's funny because that scale could be helpful. I'm new to a lot of the things. I'm new to a lot of it, but I've had a lot of time to research the last year and a half. What I do know is laws in small business and loving people and humanity in Humboldt County. I've been living here since I was 18 years old from the south side of Chicago. This is my home. So, there's a little fight in me for helping us get back to humanity, because it was and still is a really special place. People love each other here unconditionally, and all that seems like it's been taken away in such a harsh, mean, cruel way, to the point of you couldn't get your groceries, right? And silly stuff that's, people have no idea. It's not really silly. It's extreme stuff. It's old people dying alone. It's not enough medical care. It's mental health issues here are through the roof. There's not enough help here for anything.
I definitely
Yeah.
I definitely witnessed the mental health issue firsthand when Elaine and I walked the streets of Eureka. There's a lot of people in need for mental health, and a lot of them are not getting it, but yet we're wasting taxpayer money on housing illegal immigrants in, Holiday Inns across America, and paying for bus tickets and paying for airfare to get illegals all over our country. But yet we can't focus on our own people, our own children, our own veterans that need our help.
Well, who's focused on what? I mean, the Republican group here, there's some other groups here. I'm trying to figure out, how do these excuse me, movers and shakers from these different towns, how do they get people united? It's not just inviting them to your house for dinner to shoot the shit. You know, it has to be more than that. What I really would love to see right now is in the plans, a Humboldt County town hall meeting where we just go down to the bay or somewhere and just let it roll. We got 1,000, everyone's got a cell phone and we can stream it. Maybe you would stream it on your show. Start doing town halls because I think that's where it's at, right? People want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want their questions answered. They want solutions. We're sick of talking. I'm not here to get on here and blah 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 blah. I'm sick of that. I'm talked out. So I'm ready for action. I'm ready to do. So, people, please, we do have a major mental health. Our healthcare has always been a problem in Humboldt County. Our healthcare. Everyone knows you got to drive to San Francisco or Redding if you've got to have surgery or anything serious. They life flight people out.
By that is if you're going to join a group, if you're going to be an first thing, the first thing you have to have for that to see is when you go up at the door and leave it there, because the problem with these groups is people to get involved. They're always afraid of stepping on someone's toes or hurting.
100%. Everybody's feelings hurt. Everybody's offended. Cancel culture, political correctness has doomed us. Has almost doomed us. So that's why, starting the stream with definitions of love, mercy, grace. We got to figure it out, people. We don't all have to be Christian. We're not all going to be spiritual healers. We're not all going to be Buddhist, whatever. I do not care. I do not care. Yes, I care about your spiritual state. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. I can work with anybody is what I'm saying. So, and I don't get offended for long. Do I get my feelings hurt? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a human being. My feelings are hurt all the time. So, but I work through it. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. It's probably pretty common. Most of us know that one. So I don't hold grudges against anybody. Are people holding grudges against me? Maybe. Do I worry about it? No, I don't. But I get hurt, and I want to work with people who want to work with me because I'm a mover and a shaker. My husband's a mover and a shaker. We will make stuff happen here. We've been making stuff happen here for 32 years. We've got a good reputation in this town. I'm not worried about it. I know we'll find people to come alongside us, but it's not going to be all our own friends, right? We've all lost friends. We've all lost family members that we didn't lose them. They lost us. They were like, oh, you're not into this and the this and the. So are you almost at your parents' house, Mike, or what? How far are you?
About halfway. I blew a tire. This morning and was stuck in Billings for a couple hours. So I'm running late.
Billings.
Yeah, we're in Bozeman now. So.
Oh. Right
so
on.
back to your movers and shakers. This is what I want to get across to. This is what I want to get across to your viewers before I jump off of here.
Okay.
Just remember this: words are empty if they have no action behind them. So. If you want to get involved, talking only gets you so far. So it's time to pull the bootstraps up, roll your sleeves up, get your hands dirty, and get off the bench and get in the game and start making shit happen and leave your ego and your feelings at the door because it's bigger than you. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They're always worried about themselves. This shit is bigger than you. It's bigger than all of us. This is a spiritual battle that we've already won. We just got to do the work.
Amen. That's right. Yep. And so, well said, brother. Safe
Love you,
journey to
sister.
you.
I'm gonna jump
I
off of
love you
here.
too.
Love you
Thank you
guys.
so much. I love you
Yeah.
too. Love you, Noah. Bye.
Bye.
Ah, it's good to hear from them. That's great. Okay, so yeah, I will do an affidavit party at my house. I would like to have a music party. Maybe we could do both. We could do music and then we could sign affidavits. I would do rock painting. You know, Shepherd of the Forest. She's such an inspiring person. I really admired when she would call in and give the intel, and I had subscribed to her, and YouTube unsubscribed me. So I just was looking on her site, and I'm actually going to show you guys her site really quickly. On YouTube, these are some of the Liberty Warrior Nation correspondents. That's what we're calling ourselves, that are streaming and putting ourselves out there and going live, because live is where it's at. Okay, here is Shepherd of the Forest, you guys. This is an excellent resource for learning about Nasara. She's read that book. That was that video I shared yesterday. This is her. And she goes into a lot of stuff here. She's been on for about 3 months, it looks like. So I just wanted to show you, this is where I was. Well, actually, I got the video yesterday from Mandy, who's from the Awakened Patriot. And if you are not following Mike at the Liberty Warrior, you need to, because this is a call-in show for the entire world. And he has 40 countries that tune in. Last night was Ladies' Night. There, it looks like there's almost 10,000 views of Ladies' Night right there. And also he has this guy Andy on, and I'm going to segue into something. I want to play you guys a video. And this guy Andy that sells the silver, that's been on with us on Liberty Warrior and with Mike, he's also been on this show Snafu, and I've been following this show for a long time, but I want to make sure I'm still sharing. Yep, because I don't rightly know for sure all the time. And where'd my thing go? Okay, so I'm just going to play the first 2 minutes of this, because you really got to hear this. This is really crazy.
Well, hello, and how are you? Well, come on in, have a seat, because I have some really interesting information that I want to share with y'all. Now, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about my CPA, and he was having problems sending mail to the IRS. And when he went to the post office to mail out a letter, they handed him the letter back and said that office is closed. Well, he went back to his office and looked up all the agencies around Washington, which there were 5 of them, and all 5 were closed. And the only person he could talk to was an advocacy agency. And when he spoke to them, he said, they were talking, and the advocate even said, yeah, all the taxes look fine. Everything is done correctly. We don't know what's going on with the final processing of it. So we're just going to put everything on hold for right now until we kind of get things figured out. Well, so when I did that video, I actually had somebody that made contact with me, and they actually work for the IRS. And they wanted to share a little bit of information. It's nothing compromising. This person has no gag orders
See
or
anything anyway, but
anything like
I'm
that.
gonna keep playing that.
So
I pull something else up.
They just have a little bit of insight on what they're seeing actually working inside the IRS currently right now. So let's just kind of talk about what this person was saying that they are seeing. So right now, and I'm going to just read from the letter. Now it's going to sound like I'm bouncing around and a little incoherent, only because as I'm reading, I'm having to omit things that I don't want to put out there. So if it sounds a little chopped up, that's the reason why. But let me go ahead and read this, because there's some good information here. Now, and here's a few things that's going on from the last couple of months this person is seeing. So they suspended enforcement actions such as levy wage garnishments back in February. We were required to send final notice letters to taxpayers who are in collection status who have not made any arrangements for either extension to full pay the balance or regular installment agreements. They disabled the letter system for us to manually send those letters out. They don't even let them send them systematically anymore. They say that it's programming issues with the letters, but you would think with all the money that they have, they would have had it fixed by now. I think it's all bullshit. If you have back taxes owed or you have missing returns that have not been filed, they are allowing you at least 60 to 90 days additional time to have everything taken care of instead of the original 30-day hold of enforcement action. But you could just tell the agent, whoever you're speaking with, that you need additional time and they will grant it to you. When they worked, not saying that, you know, they're working in this particular facility right now, but they said that they had the authority to grant additional time. So let's see. And it depends on who you're talking to of getting this enforcement.
Okay, that's all I want to share with that. That's really just very interesting because I remember hearing a lot of stories about that. Oh, the IRS is closed. What's going on? And so just to pull this up again really quickly, I showed this Monday, but it's weird. You have to go to this Minnesota congressman's website, and you do not use the adrenochrome Google. You use Firefox or something else. And this representative, Jim Hagedorn, talks about DC tours and operating status and what all is closed. So there's a lot of rumors about the Treasury Department, and also Richard Citizens, journalist, was reporting on the ground there once when there was a bunch of cops in DC. But there's been people questioning his credibility. So I don't know. I remember watching that live. I'm sure it wasn't fake, but I'm not sure. I wasn't there. So it seemed legit. So I'm not really sure what the issues are with him. I'm just hearing a little bit about that. So I learned something from Andy on the day after Snafu's stream I just shared with you. So it was yesterday's. And Andy, that has been on Liberty Warrior show, you guys, he did the best wrap up of his perspective of the currency, and with regards to precious metals and the stock market and Bitcoin. And so I've been following him for a long time too. And a lot of it's been over my head to try to understand, because currency is quite the buzz right now, right? Is it changing? What's going to happen? One thing I learned that I think is something to keep in the back of your mind is that what Andy said was on June 28th, the LME is, gosh, what did he say? I didn't write down what is resetting or something. So the fuse is burning. Does it explode? The LME stands for London Metals Exchange, and it's supposed to do a reset on June 28th, from what I understand. So, and what I also learned on his show was that the U.S. Mint has not released in 3 months. So he's the person to buy silver from. If you want to learn about Andy, go to libertywarriornation.com, look up some past streams where he puts it in his titles. Andy was on this week, and also Snafu, and probably Andy's Miles. Is he Miles Franklin? I don't want to say the wrong thing, so just go to those websites. But anyway, that was really a great wrap up that he did. He's long-winded. It's hard to follow all that stuff when you don't know anything about it. But that was a great one yesterday on Snafu from Andy. So you might want to check that out. And see. Oh, I didn't get to share I'm going to share the guy I told you about this morning, or at the beginning of this, which is John Singleton, and he's the guy that's helping me with my case against Safeway because they arrested me. And I wanted to share this because this is just a 5-minute video of how it's supposed to go in a grocery store to help you wrap your mind around how many different things, what is our rights exactly that are being violated here. So this little 5-minute video, it's very helpful, I find. It's not a great recording. I recorded it from my iPhone off my TV, but it's what I knew how to do at the time, and I really loved what he said. So.
I'll give you an example. So we can do this. We can do this with any place where you have a problem, any place of business where you have this problem. You can do this with anyone. So there is always an intake form for the Department of Health. Now, the Department of Health is behind this scam. But the Department of Health is also supposed to police situations where people who are not authorized or licensed are giving medical advice.
I love it.
So it's going to be an interesting thing how this plays out. I'll give you a brief story here, but we went to Applebee's the other day. We couldn't sit down without wearing a mask. Of course, I'm not going to do that. I'll never do that. So we just called up. My wife just called up another Applebee's, and we went to the other one, and they were fine. But I did the same thing I always do. I got the floor manager. In this case, this guy was actually the general manager, so great. Got him to admit, yeah, you can't wear, So I documented all that. So here's what I did. I filed a complaint with the Department of Health on their own form, and I said there is an employee at, Applebee's restaurants who's requiring patrons to undertake a medical intervention as a condition of, patronizing the restaurant. So I filled out this form, sent to the DOH. They called me like a couple of days later, and she goes, "Oh yeah, so what's up with the complaint?" And I said, "Well, it concerns a restaurant." She goes, "Oh yeah, for that, well, you have to contact the Department of Business and Professional Regulation." Well, I already know that, and I already know who I'm supposed to be calling. I know all the issues, right? So I said, "Well, actually, this concerns section 456.065." She goes, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah. There's an individual at the store who's imposing, medical interventions as a condition for patronizing the restaurant." And she goes, "Well, we definitely need to see all the facts on that. So let us review everything. We'll get back with you." So that's where that is now. So what's interesting is the DOH is behind pushing this. So is the Department of Business. They're probably doing that in your state too. It's not just the DOH. They're using other agencies. And now they're supposed to prevent people from giving medical advice who are not trained and qualified, insured and licensed and all this stuff. You know why there's licensing is because in order to get licensing, you're affecting the public. You don't need a license to cut your grass, but you do need a license to advertise to cut grass for someone else, okay? Because you're open to the public, because there's a risk to the public. There's a risk of injury. So licensing allows the governing body to regulate it. It also allows insurance carriers to gauge their risk because you've succeeded at getting a license, so therefore you must be insurable. It all works together. It really works well. Sometimes I don't like the licensing issues, but it does work, I think, pretty well as long as it's not abused. So when you have someone who's completely not licensed, who would never qualify for a license, who's engaging in this, it'd be like a person who's playing with fire at a daycare center. I mean, that's how insurance looks at it. So by filing a complaint with the Department of Health over violations of unlicensed practicing of medicine, also denying you informed consent in that situation is another legal violation. I don't know if it's like a unlicensed practice of medicine, but it is a legal violation in the medical area. And informed consent is that you be informed before you are given the chance to consent or not, okay? So you cannot be informed of a medical procedure unless you're given all the pertinent information that's available to the physician. And get what I just said, to the physician who's going to consult with you. You cannot have informed consent unless there's a licensed physician. So a store manager, restaurant owner, not going to do it. So you're already denied informed consent along with the illegal medical intervention, okay? That's a big issue. Informed consent, you can slam
it on that all day long.
It's a big liability. So now you've got a person who has a particular license to engage and they have permission to sell a thing to people in general, but they're engaged in this activity over here where there's another set of licensing that they don't have and they don't have qualifications, okay? The other issue is that they have no duty. A restaurant has no duty to protect the public. You want to point that out to them. This is another item you want to bring up to the attention of, and you'll see this in the letters here. You bring that to the attention of the risk manager, the chief counsel for the organization. They have no duty to protect the public, but yet they're acting in that capacity. Moreover, they don't just have zero duty to protect the public. They don't even have the capacity to protect the public. And that language I'm telling you right now comes from case law. You can go see the case law. And this is what judges have been saying for 50 years or 100 years. You have to have a duty to protect the public. You have to have the capacity to protect the public. That means you have to have the funding, the training, the equipment, and you have to be insured, really, and the qualifications to engage in that activity. If I saw a fire in my neighborhood, I could just go over there and start trying to put it out. I mean, I probably could, but I really shouldn't. I'm not qualified. I don't know what happened. I don't understand all that stuff. I'm not a fireman. So that's why we have these restrictions. And somehow, I mean, even if there was a pandemic, the law still is the same. It doesn't repeal laws. They have a problem. You have the Department of Health is supposed to police the unlicensed practice of medicine, yet they're pushing the unlicensed practice of medicine.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay, so I just really, that helped me to wrap my mind around what is the injustices. It's not just our civil rights thing, but isn't there checks and balances for this? And yeah, did you catch what he said at the end? You have the Department of Health, the Department of licensing is supposed to be policing people that are acting like doctors. Instead, they're pushing people to turn around and act like doctors. So I'm not giving my health choices over to checkers and baggers and store managers. And it seems like now it's really calm in Humboldt County, and I'm so glad I can probably go shopping just about anywhere now and not get harassed. But I'm nervous that if everything doesn't go as planned with certain governors, this facial recognition thing is going to be coming down, and it's going to be worse than before. And I hope that's not true. But I just want to see us get a group together for Humboldt, because we need to know who our elected officials are anyway, and we need to find new people to fill the positions of the old. When election time rolls around, we need to get rid of these people that are that Board of Supervisors has long past been operating fraudulently. That state of emergency has long been expired, and they're operating under Executive Order N29. What's her name? Virginia Bass reads at every Board of Supervisor meeting. She opens up with, "We're Zooming from Executive Order N29. Yeah, your ass is not at work, so we can't talk to you and show what you're doing. You're all hiding at home. You don't hear our grievances. Oh yeah, you take our phone calls and we talk for 3 minutes and then you cut us off. And that's bullshit. That is not going to happen. We have to go after these people. I don't care what it takes, whatever it takes. If they have to be sued, they'll be sued. If they can get voted out, they'll get voted out. We'll figure it out, you guys. We will figure it out. There's We the People from Stand Up Michigan. There's Red, White, and Blueprint from Shasta County, our next door neighbors. There's Stand Up California. There's Peggy Hall Freedom for California. There ain't no way we're not going to figure this out. Nobody's got it figured out right now yet. So do not despair. It's not that it isn't going to happen. It's not our timing. It's just, this is where we're at. So let's get it together. Oops, I don't even know what that's doing. Something's running in the background.
Just free lunch, right?
Oh, I could watch him all day. Rand Paul's going to give a speech on socialism. I could definitely be watching that. So anyway, I'm going to close out with any of these. I got a couple tips for Humboldt County. And I'm going to throw this stream number in there if anyone wanted to call in. But nobody's been calling in yet, and that's okay. I'll just keep going. And maybe next week someone will call in. And maybe this weekend I'll get on and do a chat sometime. But I'm not committing to the weekend. And I'm not committing to late night chat. But I foresee that in the future. I know we're all out in the day. 10 o'clock is a terrible time, but it's the time that I have to be able to share the information and just, I'm fresh. I know where if I go to town, it's an all day event. So this is just what works for me for now. But I'd like to have some callers, and I'd like to do some more, later times. I know this time's not the greatest, but okay. So my best tip for you guys in Humboldt County, and my battery's going to die, so I definitely got to hurry up, is I think this October is going to be our 3rd year. And we called Evans Mechanical, and we got these heat pumps put in our house because we were on wood heat. Not solely, we had a couple propane heaters, but they just took the chill off. If you didn't have a fire going, the house would be pretty cold. And I know there's a lot of places in Humboldt County that have that problem too. There's wood heat, or there's not the ability to have forced air heating, which is what we thought we would get one day. So these heat pumps are amazing. They are electricity, but they actually use chemical energy. They, like how a refrigerator works. You know how the cats always want to sleep in front of the refrigerator because it's warm down there. The freezer, the Freon is making it cold. So these things actually do air conditioning too. And they have a swing bar that opens and closes and a fan that pushes. And these guys got this installed in our home in 4 days. And I think it was it $10,000 or was it 20? Gosh, I can't remember. I can't remember how much it was, but excuse me, it was 0% interest for 3 years. So it was $500 a month payments for heat. And they're just a great investment. And I know our cousin Robbie out in Trinity County, he's got the same kind of system. They put a box unit outside, and then they run all these different kind of wires. I'll show you how it looks when they're done with it. They do a really bang up job with this encasement here. So there's so many things in here that are wires for, their condensation. There's actually water pump plumbing that's in here, and electrical, and it's all runs from each unit, which I'll show you the unit. And then I got to jump off because I'm probably going to get cut off because I'm messing around with this internet. But this is the swing bar up here. You guys have probably seen these things. Can you see it? I can't even tell. Yeah, there it is. And so it's amazing to have instant heat. It'll change your life to have a heater like that. It really will. And also to have air conditioning, because up here on Fickle Hill, I'll show you this view. If you can see this view behind me today. Look at that view. Isn't that amazing? It gets really cold and it gets really hot. So, and I wanted to give my best fire building tip for ladies and gentlemen. And the best thing, if I get cut off, if you're not familiar with red dye diesel is not super combustible. So we've learned that the hard way about, kerosene and gasoline, and those are not good fire starters. Charcoal fluid is good. Buy those containers first and then fill it up with red dye diesel. You can burn wet wood with red dye diesel, but I don't always use it. My fire tip is this: brown paper bag, cardboard, and then log style cabin your kindling about 3 or 4 rows up. Let that go till those get nice, and they're not going to die out if you put some wood on top of it. So those are my best tips for staying warm. It's summertime now, so I know it seems weird, but you're supposed to pay attention to the ant. They gather in the summer. They gather their food in the summer. They do not starve. They work together. They have no king. And there's a lot of good proverbs about the ants. So summertime's a great time to be relaxing and enjoying, but you got to be thinking about wintertime too. And we're always working on our firewood and getting things ready because the power's going to go out and things like that. Oh yeah, remember Redwood Community Action Agency this morning brought my mother up a free battery unit on wheels and everything for her home because she's a senior citizen. And if the power goes out, she can just plug her stuff right into this battery. So that was a free program from Redwood Community Action Agency and PG&E. So hopefully I was helpful to you guys today, and you were inspired and you want to get involved in your community and find a group that's working towards your medical freedoms and exemptions being honored and our rights, because these are still the laws on the books. And we don't want to have, I don't want to see two different Humboldt counties, which it feels like we kind of have right now, because people are so critical of others if they're not doing and thinking like they are, and I'm just not like that. I don't care if you want to wear a mask, if you want to get the vacation. I'm not judging you. I really am not. I think that information is very important, and knowledge is power, and we need to be able to share and converse, and I need to be able to defend myself, because the more I am active, the attacks are coming. And so I'm not trying to justify anything, but I want the truth to go out there, that people will make up lies and things that are not true. And so you just look for the truth tellers. There's HumboldtTruthTeller.com on the internet, and he's also on BitChute, and I think on Rumble too, and LibertyWarriorNation.com. There's HilltopWorkshops.com, StandUpHumboldt.com. So check out those websites, you guys. And I really love y'all. Thanks for hanging in with me today. I'm sorry it was late, and this week was just kind of a trial and error week with the streaming and learning how, and there's still some connections to be made on those websites. But I'm doing my best. And the little doggy is good. I know I cut off yesterday and I was talking about how my husband's dog, I was worried about him, and he's actually fine. They think it's his back or something. He's a dachshund, so they have problems with their backs. They're so long. So he's good. He's just a little low energy and that. So yeah, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. I don't really know what's going on because I'm going to be traveling to go get this puppy, and I'll show you her next week when I get on, or this weekend. My daughter's beside herself. I lost my German Shepherd this year in spring, and I really miss her. And we have another Shepherd that's a Husky mix, but she's really lonely too. She's a guard dog up here, and I like having a German Shepherd guard dog up here. They definitely do their job, just even being present. So everybody should have a dog, right? Unless you're terribly allergic, then I guess that's not a good idea. But we have 5 dogs up here. So convincing my husband I needed another one was a little something. But, you got to realize one of the dogs is my mom's, one of the dogs is my daughter's, and 2 of the dogs are mine, and one of the dogs is my husband. So 3 of them will be mine. I've always had 3 dogs. Everybody should always have 3 dogs, right? Anyway, I love dogs. Dogs are awesome. They love you unconditionally, right? All right, you guys, peace out. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great weekend. It's a beautiful, beautiful weather in Humboldt County and probably Crecent City. And I'll be talking to you, Robert, and Mike, and anybody else that I talk to all the time. Okay, goodbye. Oh, Cheryl, hi. We'll talk soon. Maybe if Robert wants to call me. I don't know if you're with Cheryl. Is she trying to get on? I know my battery is going to die, so I'm going to have to jam out. You're trying to get on? Let's see. Where am I at? I'm at 15%. Did you try to, let's see, there's the link. Let me highlight it. Show the link. That's the link right there, but you have to get onto Google, unfortunately, or Safari if you're on your phone. You have to open up through those browsers because it's just lame that way. Part of my problem this morning was I was trying to go through, I thought I was going through DuckDuckGo. I thought I was going through Firefox, or I'm sorry, I thought I was going through Chrome, and I was going through Firefox and DuckDuckGo. I don't know how it works with all these things. So my husband had to help me. And then he said, please feed me after he helped me. So, if you know me, I'm a sucker to feed people. I love to feed people, but I have not enjoyed cooking as much lately. I used to cook for these preschool kids. They were 4 and 5 years old. And man, they spoiled me, because once you cook for 4 and 5-year-olds and they're like, Misty, this food is so yummy. And they're just always so happy. And, my husband's great. Don't get me wrong. He's a happy guy, but it's not 16 beautiful eyes looking up at you, loving your food. It's not the same thing. But I made him some food because he fixed my computer. And Bob will straighten you out. Okay, honey, I'll hang out for a minute if you want to call in. If you want. Oh, there you are. Hey, girl. Hey, boy. I don't know who it is. I can see a black and white. I'm going to let him in. Hello. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Not much. Yes. Unbelievable. It's a miracle. Can you believe it?
I hope I didn't command you. I said I was going to experiment with you first.
Good. Fine. We'll experiment with some things, but not everything, right?
I got this. I got it. Now I know how to do it.
Right on. And now Liberty Warrior people are going, oh, that's Robert. There's Robert Steager. I was looking for you again on Facebook, and I could not. I know it's Bob.
Right.
Maybe you could find me because I want to invite you to our stand-up humble group. I think you'll like it.
Do I look for your name then?
Sure. Do you have a picture in your Facebook group or picture? Or are you like a blank silhouette? Because there was a couple.
Let me see what it is. I think it's a picture of Edge.
Oh, your dog? Okay. What is your dog?
Edge. German Shepherd.
What kind of dog is it? A mutt? Oh, it's a German Shepherd too? Aw. They're the best.
I'll send you a picture of him.
I love them. They're the best.
He's my spirit. Yeah. My spirit guide, man. He's cool.
Aw.
You know what's weird? You know what's weird about him?
What?
He seems like he's all the dogs I had in one.
Yeah.
I can't believe it, really. I'll see him because he won't leave my side.
Yeah.
He's like Rin Tin Tin.
That's good. I know. I've had unloyal dogs, and I didn't realize before that I had such a loyal dog, till I had an unloyal dog. She would just take off all the time, and that love dog, man, she wasn't loyal at all. I got her from the pound. Somebody had got her and then brought her back, and she was a little puppy, but they had her with the big dogs for some reason. And I said, why is this? What's the story with this dog? And anyway, they told me someone got her. They named her Princess, and then they brought her back. And so she wanted everybody else to throw the ball for her, not me. She was weird that way, And then she'd take off all the time in the neighborhood. We'd be like, come here, love. Come here, love. So it's not a good name. But that was my first dog I got as an adult. And it was like, her name was Love. Some of my old friends remember Love Dog. She was a Labrador. They're great dogs too, but they don't scare anybody. They don't scare anybody. Someone sees a lab running up to them, they know they just got to pick up a stick or a ball, and that dog's gone. So.
Hey, can you see this thing right here?
What is it? No, is it concrete?
Yeah, that's the base of the fireplace.
Oh, dang!
It's 4.5 feet high, 5.5 feet deep.
It's outside.
The hearth is that deep.
Okay.
This guy had a lot of money.
Is it in your house fireplace? It looks outside.
Yeah, it's inside. That's just the base.
Oh, okay.
That's the base of the housing of the hearth itself.
Okay. Oh, nice.
This guy had a lot of money.
So you showed me those logs yesterday. Are you milling?
No.
No.
Staining them. I got up. They're going to be uprights.
Oh, they're posts, huh? Wow.
I'll see if I can.
They look like they were 12 inches thick.
This looks it looks like a cowboy ranch. See it?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Log cabin, yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's huge. But it's chilly up here.
Yes, it is. And moist. Do you have a problem mold at all?
Not mold, but just
dampness.
The guy got cancer, right?
Yeah.
And so look, I'll show you. Look, you can tell how dry it is. It's just the wood is just dry.
Yeah.
We bought
it's pretty though. It's beautiful.
It's like I'm restoring the whole homestead. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know.
I lived that. I'm living it now.
Yeah. Where do you get your water from?
Well, we have water rights with two of our neighbors. So it's on the neighbor's property, And then the other neighbor has the 5,000 and it's on gravity flow. So we're not pressurized or anything. So that's good when we don't have electricity, we still have water. And then what we have to contribute is we have a 20,000 gallon redwood tank and a 10,000 gallon redwood tank. And so we have the reserves. So we all work together.
Wow.
Yeah. But this year we actually, my husband developed our own spring. We found our own water and he's been working on that. So we will have our own water too.
Do you know how to tap into that?
Yeah, he ran electrical line and water line. He bought a really cool plumbing box kit from North Carolina or something that was I forget what it's called, but it's your containment attachment container or containment. It's your containment container. I forget.
Wait, hold on. It's a
You know what?
it's the control box.
Yeah. So an inlet and outlet and everything. And so this spring we discovered when we bought our property in 03, there was no logging roads here at all. We're on 18 acres and there was no real trails. It was all boonie crashing, right? And so our neighbor who lives up the road a mile, he's a logger. He's a professional logger for Green Diamond. And he also happened to grow up a mile away up the road. And so he used to play with this people on our homestead as a kid. He used to walk the back roads, and his grandfather put in the original logging roads on our property. And so he came and did the logging we built a pole barn on our property, a 30 by 40 pole barn. And so he came and did the logging for us in 05. He took like 5 trees from here and 5 trees from there. I think we did like 30 trees. And he punched in all the old logging roads that his grandfather had originally put in. And at the very end of our 18 acres, wouldn't you know it, at the very end of it, we're at 2,000 feet and it goes down to about 800 feet, is where we discovered we had redwoods. We didn't even know we had redwoods. I mean, we did know we had a lot of trees. We have a lot of fir. We have a ton of pepperwood in that, but because we're at 2,000 feet, the redwoods don't grow up this high typically, right? So down there at 800 feet, I count, and I think there's 22. We have 22 redwoods, but I think our biggest one is like this big. They're like 4th generation. They're not very big, but right there at the base of where they are, it would always be wet in August, September, where it's hot, the grass is dry, it's dry everywhere else, but here you got this wet spot, right? And so that was 05 we discovered it. What is this, 2021? I mean, we can get the water up here. The last thing we need to buy right now is we have a 10,000 tank that has a liner in it. He's just talking about taking one of them down. I don't know. One of them needs to go, but the electricity's ran, the plumbing's ran. It's all ready. We just don't have the containment up here for it yet. So
you guys use chlorine or anything?
No, we have an ozonated system that's got an ozone. It has an ozone filter. So it's emitting ozone all the time, and it's oxygenated. So the water is purified that way.
You have to have your husband show me that.
Yeah.
We have a well that's punched under the Smith River, so we're kind of sucking out of the river.
Best water in the state, probably.
Oh yeah, it's.
I mean that's a crystal clear, beautiful river.
It's the cleanest I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, the state may come down on us.
Oh no.
I mean, they're creeping. Put it that way. We have
About your water?
Huh?
About your water?
Yeah.
Is your friend Cheryl there?
I'm not. No. She's in Wisconsin.
Oh, she's a Wisconsin girl?
I want to wake her up to what you're talking about, man. This stuff. You got to stand up. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm getting involved. Like Diana is. To those who out there listening or who's going to listen, if you don't stand up, that is complying with the system they're developing on you. And you better keep in your mind what is next. The Nasara Jasara, like that guy I sent you in that video. This is a experiment for the sign of the beast. Nasara Jasara could be a culmination of
right. That made sense to me.
You
that
get
made
right,
sense to me.
right with God. Look what they just did to you. Look what they look how you're following along like sheep for a virus and an illness with fear and confusion and delusion. What are people going? How many people are going to jump on this mark of the beast over money?
Right. Everyone who's dependent. Everyone who's dependent will.
They're seeing how many people in this country will fall for this, or the world. It's worldwide. So
yeah,
see how much of the population of the world will fall for this.
I think that was right on last night. Was that so? That was just recorded yesterday.
Yeah,
those guys talking. That guy. What's his name? That guy. So David Rodriguez is the wrestler, right?
No, he's a heavyweight.
I'm sorry, he's a fighter, right?
Okay. I was training to be a fighter until I broke my neck.
Okay. Oh, bummer.
I connect with this guy, and then he has this guy that we just had the same kind of discussion, sort of.
Yeah, we did. Well, we did. Yeah. Right. It was very coincidental.
See, I'm trying to get Cheryl up to speed, my sister up to speed, some of my schoolmates up to speed, my stepbrother up to speed.
It's hard, but maybe they'll come and talk with us in our little loving group because we're small.
Right.
And it would just be us. And that's what's cool about these little small. I remember when Mike didn't have a lot of people on, and I don't mind there being more people. It's actually very exciting, but it's also fine enough for me to be talking to 5 people only, because I'm not looking for the big fame. I'm not looking for the big, nothing. I'm looking to connect with people and make them feel better and feel better myself. Because this stuff sucks. We're all seeing things and it's surreal to us, but it's not surreal to everybody else.
Hey, when you said that about Mike, about the levels that I was trying to explain to you, right?
Yeah.
I was just explaining that to Cheryl this morning. No. You think you understand, but you don't understand.
Right.
You're standing. You got to go under and look up to understand.
Don't get so deep on us now, Robert.
These words they use, these terms and things mean more than what they say out their mouth.
That's true.
It's people,
because they do like to tell us the stuff they're doing to us too.
That's God's law.
Okay.
Your movies, your songs, your Super Bowl halftime shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's right in your eyeballs. If you have eyes to see, you will see.
That was the worst Super Bowl halftime show ever, wasn't it? I didn't watch it, but I saw what it was about.
You didn't see what it was. Oh no, that was in Mandy's today. I said, my poor TV been under a sheet for like 7 years. I don't know who won the Super Bowl. I don't care who. 7 years. I don't know. I don't care. My how you say that? I have no depression and I have less depression, less anxiety, everything.
Oh yeah, for sure, right?
Yep. When Elaine was talking about mental health, it's an issue.
Somebody I wanted to tell Humboldt people too. Excuse me, on that last board of supervisors, somebody did call in and gave them a pretty good lip lashing about the mental health crisis. They said, in Garberville, it was already bad. It was already bad. And so was somebody else. Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting about that guy. Peggy Hall interviewed. There's a guy. I knew I wanted to bring another person up. So you know how we're fragmented, right? We've got, so you're in Crecent City. You're the first.
I was going to talk to you about that.
Yeah. This guy's at the Fiddleheads Cafe in Modesto, right? I keep forgetting about him, but he's a fighter. He's another fighter. He does you come in here with the mask and what does he say? He makes them pay $5 if they come into his place wearing a mask. And he's radical. He's radical. Fiddlehead's Cafe. Look up Fiddlehead's Cafe. And he's a business owner that's fighting for his life. He's got nobody. And I think I wrote on his YouTube thing, go to Liberty Warrior, call in. And another guy called in. Oh, there's my battery. I got to bring it inside. And another guy did call in that I've been talking to and told to, and I told him, Corey Harrison, he's in Burbank. Remember that little clip I played of him and he's swearing at the people he's swearing at those borders. You effing, you know what? I love that. I was like, yeah, you tell him, Corey, you tell him. And he's called into Liberty Warrior a couple times now. And he's like, hey, D, he's smart. He knows how to.
Uh-oh.
How do you do that orange thing in the YouTube? I'm so dumb. You know how they highlight your name with the orange?
I can't see the chart. I can't see the chat at all. Oh yeah.
You don't see the chat?
Now I do. Cheryl's talking about me.
Oh yeah, she's talking about you. She sure is. She's talking about you.
Yeah.
She's gonna tell me all kinds of things.
Hey, Cheryl.
You're gonna be sorry you told Cheryl about me. No, just kidding.
These new people I've been meeting are how do you say it? I don't know.
Different? Aren't we all eccentric?
No, that's very special.
Yeah.
And I know my people. Well, she knows that, but
yes. Yes, for sure.
Oh,
I forgot it.
Yeah. It. You know what I mean? I feel the people. Does that make me an empath? I don't know.
I was just thinking that, you weirdo. I was just thinking that.
I know.
I was like, that's the word they keep using lately, empath. No. Does that just mean you have empathy? Doesn't that just mean you have empathy?
Yeah, but I don't know. I've been looking up words, but I haven't looked up. Let me write that down. Empathy. I looked that up. Hey, but you know what? This one lady I met. My brother that I don't talk to. They accuse me of being selflessness. I say that? Did I say that right? Selflessness.
They accused you.
I don't help people to make money. That is selfless. What am I going to say? Yeah, I'm guilty. Okay, that's my.
Sure.
If you needed help, I'd come down there. You know what I mean, and help your husband, whatever you guys had an issue with that you needed help with, and you couldn't find nobody. I'd help you, because I can feel you. I can feel you.
Right on.
Let me see. What was that empathy? I got to look up. Empathy. Okay. Yeah. See, I quit school when I'm 15, but I study other things.
Well, you're probably not going to believe me, but I dropped out of school too, and I never went to high school. I was my friends know we were always hanging out at Miami Bowl behind the bowling alley across from Curie High School. They tore it down. You know how many lanes there were in that bowling alley, dude? It was an L-shaped bowling alley. It took up 2 front blocks, Archer and Pulaski, and it was 80 lanes. 80 lanes.
Yeah, I told Cheryl you were my sister. We were both raised in Illinois. That's funny.
Yes, that's true. And I left when I was 18. Yeah.
So did I. Well, I left a couple of times, but the final time was when I was 18.
Oh, really?
Yep. Because my real dad was in northern Wisconsin, and that's how I met Cheryl when I tried to go to high school.
We had a reunion, Cheryl. Our family had a reunion in the Wisconsin Dells in 2007, and I had a blast there. We had a we had our pop-up tent trailer. We drove it across from California with our little dogs, and a lot of my family. We had the whole strip of the KOA little cabins, And we got in trouble every night after 10 o'clock. They were coming down there. You guys, because there was like 2 other people that were not part of our group, and we were loud. And then we had some streakers go by us. And it was such a great time. And my uncles, 3 of them have boats. And I think they all brought their boats and ripping up and down the Dells. It's too cold there. It's still cold in Wisconsin right now. Should be warming up, right? Isn't it warming up? It's hot today in Humboldt County. I think it's downright 74 degrees, it says. That is warm. What are you at in Crecent City? What do you got? You look like you're sunny. You're in a parka, though. You're wearing a parka.
In a hoodie.
Shit.
Cold in the shade, let me tell you.
Yeah.
As soon as this is over, I'm getting out in the sun.
Yeah. I know. I got to get off because I'm got to get going, and we're going to go get that dog.
Good for you.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to end with, I forgot. I'm going to share one little story out of this.
Hey, you send me a picture. I want to see. Okay.
Send this. Of what?
Text me a picture of your.
Oh yeah, I don't even have one yet, but I will.
We'll
I'm going to show her off when I get her.
Oh hell yes.
Go on live.
Uh-huh. I'll send you a picture of Edge.
Okay. Okay.
He's the brown and black type.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm getting too.
Okay.
Cool, Robert. Well, I'll see you later, man.
All right. Thanks for attempting to do this, Cheryl.
Hey, thanks for getting on. Finally.
Good
on you.
I'm glad that shows she wants to understand what's going on.
Yeah, thanks, Cheryl. I do too. I hope she
exercise her rights with them children.
Yeah. And check out Liberty Warrior. You think she'd like Liberty Warrior?
Yeah, you see. I have to think.
When certain people are on, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, brother. I was gonna share a story out of here about the 4th of July, but I don't know if you want to hang on for that or just let me let you go. I don't even know where it went. I thought I shared it. Remember the Humboldt Honeys? Gonna have to share about that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're called, right? The Humboldt Honey? Yep. It was the 4th of July. There it is. All right. You want to hear the story or do you want me to let you go? You want to hear this one? It's the cover story of the book. It's the cover story. So here, I'll just read it like this. Oh, wait. It's Arcata's 4th of July. And I think this has to do with the owner of what's it called? The bulb farm. Is it called Sunnybray Bulb Farm? No.
4th of July in Eureka once. A couple years.
Oh yeah.
A couple years ago.
Okay, here's one when they almost didn't have one. Arcata's 4th of July Jubilee almost lost its patriotic display when the Chamber of Commerce couldn't locate donors to fund the annual fireworks, which follow the traditional Plaza Jubilee and Humboldt Crabs game. Which I forgot to mention, we need to call the Humboldt Crabs ballpark and complain that they're having a vacation clinic for the 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's what needs to. And next Monday, we will have a plan and flyers. My friend gave me a bunch of information on that, and she sent it to my phone. And so I didn't get it transferred. I'm going to ask her to send me things at email because it's easier for me to share on the computer. But she made up some flyers or found some flyers, and we're definitely going to have a presence there. I'm going to be out of town, but I will still try to help to the day I leave to make sure that we can have an educational booth there, some flyers and stuff. So anyway, that's that. So this almost didn't happen. Let's see, what year was this? This is July 4th, 2007. This is a story from 2007.
If Cheryl's in here. Cheryl's still in here. Doesn't this story sound familiar? Same thing. Yep.
So the matter became public following publication in the Arcata. Driven by patriotism and tradition, Lane DeVries, a naturalized citizen who immigrated to the United States in 1983, offered to pay the $10,000 fireworks fee himself. I'm proud to be an American, and fireworks are an integral part of American history, he said. Arcata's history, too. It's the heartbeat of our town, he said. What is the Arcata 4th of July without fireworks? DeVries called former Mayor Carl Pellets, who contacted fireworks by Boom Boom in Hayfork. It turned out that Boom Boom, which has put on shows for Eureka, Crecent City, McKinleyville High School, Sears Point Raceway, and Walt Disney, among other customers, has coveted the Arcata gig for some time, but another company, since booked up, had a lock on it. Second on a list of guiding principles posted on the wall of DeVries' Sun Valley Floral Farms office is dedicated to being a good neighbor and improving the community in which we live. It's not just right to not have fireworks in Arcata, DeVries said, shaking his head. That notion there, I just couldn't stand it. Pellets said he and DeVries were only beginning responsible community members. I'm sorry. It's just the typical Arcata people that want to make sure things get done, he said. With a lot of help from its friends, Arcata's 2007 4th of July Jubilee was complete, including a star and striped Michelle Dubois left and Angela Wolski right, escorted by Mr. McKinley on the plaza that sunny day, which, as we all know, they took our statue down of President McKinley in the dead of night, right?
Wow.
Well, I think it was done at 10 o'clock at night here. There's 3 stories in here about President McKinleyville and how Arcata's residents really admired him, which is why they put a freaking statue of him in the town. Mm-hmm. And then, we got these new students that are so woke, and they come along and tell us that was before they were taking statues down all across town. So maybe it was strategic, because you know what? It would have probably been really ugly if they didn't take that statue away when they did. It would have got defaced, right? During the summer, last summer. Oh, it would have gotten spray painted on, defecated on, just totally. So who knows? But this is a really interesting book, and I like Mondays and Fridays kind of talking about other things. Monday's the start of the week, Friday's the end of the week. So just have something fun. I wish I could tell people where to go. Somebody invited me and said, hey, is the Oyster Festival this week? Did I want to go? And I can't. So, but I'll get better at that stuff too. There's not been a lot going on in Humboldt County, but hopefully it does seem like everybody's ready to get out and just go do things. So I think just get out there and go see what's happening, and get on here next week, call in and help a girl out. I need help too. I'm researching everything I can to try to help us. So maybe people want to let us know what they want to get involved in, and maybe they want to get involved in elections. Maybe they want to get involved in, we need our own message in art form, like, not necessarily logo. I think we have a logo, but I don't even care about that. We just need a message for humanity, right? For,
we need some of these people who are going to stand up like you to be in our public office.
Yeah. I mean, I would hold an office if I could. I don't know if I can. I'm out of the city limits.
Very hard to get in.
Yeah, there's some things. Yeah, that Arcata, you'd be surprised. There's some very young people running this town. Very, very young people. Very young.
But
the auditor controller here. What? You broke out. What'd you say?
They probably got in there because of their family ties to the office before them.
I think they got in there no problem, because nobody's paying attention.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they literally, oh yeah, I think I'll run for office. And they barely had to do anything. This girl, Pam Dominguez, I doubt she's 30 years old. She's our auditor controller for all the money in Humboldt County. And, I saw her on Facebook. I saw posts from her on Facebook last year calling out the county for fraud all over the place. And she was on this week on Access Humboldt, and she didn't sound like she was calling them out for fraud anymore. She was talking about her reelection, and, so.
Yeah.
But you know, the other thing is that Stand Up Humboldt could be really useful for, even if all this stuff passes, is, gosh, I just forgot it. It was right there. But our community, you know, we have to build our community. There's elections. Oh, there's mental health and our wellness community. The hospitals, like you said earlier, pills, pills, pills. That's not Humboldt County. No, Humboldt County is full of herbalists. There's an herbalist school on Neeland. People know about medicine here. There's Native Americans here that still know the medicine. We're just not connected. We're just so. If I can find it, like this book I shared, it's a kind of weird cover, you know, but this native, I saw you guys were talking about that in one of those videos too. You were talking about the medicine, and that's why I love this book, because this is for Humboldt County. But what I was thinking is, after I shared this book, is that every community needs to go find who their American tribe, you know, native tribe was, and see if they can't find somebody who has documented the medicine and the plants in their area, because that's where it's at. I mean, this book isn't going to help anybody in Chicago.
Nope.
Right. And in Chicago City people. So that's a whole different animal anyway. That's not even, you know, they self-reliance. They got to get out of the city if they're going to be self-reliant. They're not going to be able to. How can you be self-reliant? And when it goes down in the city, I don't know. But
and I love what you said. We don't need people who's going to listen to this. We don't need a vacation.
Right.
We don't need this. We are immune.
We are immune. We're healthy.
We're
healthy. Yeah. Yeah. Love you, Robert. I'm so glad you got on. I hope Cheryl can figure it out sometime. Well, I'm sure you could have figured it out. You just said you're new. And so I know it's a little nerve-wracking to call in and stuff, but you can also call in and you don't have to show your face. Mike was driving, so he probably didn't want to, because he knows it would have been harder to keep catching, but maybe he's still listening. Love you, brother. Love you guys.
Yep.
I'm glad I got to share that little history of the 4th of July with you, and I'll definitely share you a picture of that puppy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Peace out. Love y'all. Love you, Humboldt. Bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
You too. We'll see you later. I'll see you at 5 in the chat, right?
Yep.
Okay.